An Igbo engineer couldn't find a job, so he opens the clinic and puts a sign outside. Get treatment for 20,000 naira, but if not cured, get 100,000 naira back. That was what he wrote on the signpost. A lawyer saw this post and thinks that this is a great opportunity to get 100,000 naira for free every single time he visits the clinic. So he went to the clinic. "Oga dog, I have lost my sense of taste," the lawyer said to the Igbo engineer. So the Igbo engineer instructed the nurse to bring medication from box 25 and put 3 dots into the patient's mouth. The nurse did exactly as instructed. The moment the drops of medication gets into the lawyer's mouth, the lawyer screamed, "Oh, this is kerosene!" And the Igbo engineer said, "Congratulations, your sense of taste has been restored.
Wow.
You can now make payment for the treatment. Your charge is 20,000 naira. The lawyer had no choice but to pay the 20,000 naira and he goes home. It might interest you to know that the lawyer was so annoyed that he thought of another means to recover his money. So a few days later, he went back to the clinic. "Oga doc, I have lost my memory." The Igbo engineer instructed his nurse again, bring medication from box 25 and put 3 drops into the patient's mouth, of which the nurse did exactly as instructed. The moment the drops of medication goes into the lawyer's mouth, the lawyer screamed, "This is kerosene now. You gave it to me the last time I came here." And the Igbo engineer said, "Congratulations, your memory has been restored. You can proceed to making payment. Your charge is 20,000 naira. The lawyer had no choice, even though he was very angry at this point, but to make the payment. The fuming lawyer paid him and went home. A week after that day, the lawyer came back again for the 3rd time. So he calls onto the Igbo engineer again. "Oga doc, I have lost my eyesight. My vision has become very weak. In fact, it feels like I can no longer see anything anymore." The Igbo engineer looked at him and said, "Well, I do not have any medication for that, so take this 100,000 naira. The lawyer collected the money, stares at it for a while and says, "But this is 20,000 naira now. It is now 100,000 naira. Then the Igbo man collected the money back and said, "Congratulations, your eyesight has been restored." Oh my goodness. Please proceed to making payment. Your charge is 20,000 naira. Hey. If you were to be the lawyer, my brothers and sisters, what are you going to do? What means will you bring up this time to recover your money? If I were to be that lawyer, I will go to my house and sit down. Because what? Please do well to drop your answers in the comment section. I will go through it one after the other. So let's proceed to the major topic of today, which has a lot of connection with this story that I have just told you. This video is going to be helping a lot of people who happen to be confused on what exactly to focus on. I mean, if you're confused about your true calling or what exactly you should be doing as a human, this video is for you. So stay tuned as we figure it all out together. Permit me to tell you this. Sometimes the path to success is not always as direct as we want it to be. In fact, it is filled with unexpected twists and opportunities to experiment with until we stumble upon the path that truly fits. This is a truth that so many successful people understand and live by every single day of their lives. So the lesson here is very simple. Do not be afraid to start from somewhere, anywhere at all. And I mean, even if you're unsure of where it is going to take you. And that's because each experiment is a stepping stone towards your growth, your personal growth, and ultimate success. So take, for instance, the story of the Igbo engineer. Imagine if he had waited until he is able to land himself an engineering job in an engineering firm. He wasn't scared of doing something different. I mean, how many graduates today in this country are even practicing what they studied in school? Ask yourself that question. I am very sure you already know the answer. He did not allow the frustration of not getting his desired job to stop him. Instead, he decided to take things into his own hands by trying out something different. So this is me saying, if you're feeling stuck or uncertain about where you're headed, it might just be time for you to take a moment and reflect Do not be discouraged by the challenges or the false start. Do not be ashamed of trying out something that might not work. Because I can tell you, the fact that you started does not mean that there's going to be a success story. Sometimes you start and you fail, and I mean several times. Do not be ashamed. When you fail, all you owe yourself is to get up right back and keep moving. You have to keep trying things until you find that one that eventually clicks. The fear of failure and uncertainty might just be holding you back from trying out new things and exploring or experimenting new opportunities. The experiences and lessons you gathered along the way will definitely guide you towards something that really aligns with your values, your passions, and your skills. So remember that it's not about where you begin. It's about being open and learning from the journey, and I mean every step of the way. So sometimes we see ourselves venturing into something just because we need to make money. We need to put food on the table for ourselves and our families. And at this point, it really doesn't matter if it is something you're passionate about or not. Majority of the times, even the things that you have passion for might not be something that will start bringing in income immediately. So how patient can you be to wait until something begins to come out from that skill that you're so passionate about? A lot of people in Nigeria are not even doing things that they love doing. They just want to do something that brings money, and that's it. Or would you blame such people? Of course not. But I am this person who would definitely think about continuity plan, because if I do not have passion for something, it suffers along the line, because you might end up seeing me give my attention to something else which I am passionate about instead of that which brings in the money. So this is a moment where you get to pay attention to your inner self, and most importantly, stay in alignment with divinity. It helps direct you so you don't end up making a mistake that you will regret. Choosing what to focus on when you have so many talents can feel overwhelming, but there are a few strategies that might help. And the first one is passion over proficiency. While it can be tempting to focus on what you're best at, it is actually very important that you look into something you love doing the most. That thing that will get your attention even when you're very weak and tired. One thing about doing something that you're so passionate about is that even when you're feeling sleepy, when you're weak, when you're very tired, when you're dull, you can always find strength to attend to that particular thing. And that's because it is something you enjoy doing, something you love doing a lot. It simply makes you excited and fulfilled. If there is one thing I know about passion, it is the fact that it fuels dedication. You just keep wanting to do more of that particular thing. It helps you to be consistent and put in nothing but your best. So at this point, you might need to take up a paper and a pen and begin to write all those things down. So, in the worst moments of my life, even when it's not yielding income, what is that thing that I would love to keep doing? I will push it with every single fiber in me until it begins to work. As simple as that. And before you know it, you must have ruled out things that were not even necessary in the first place, and you'll be able to land at something. And if you must combine a few, make sure that somehow they kind of align, and it will be easy for you to handle this and that together. The second thing to do is to experiment and then prioritize. This is more like what I have explained before. I'd advise you to try and engage in different activities. That way, you will be able to decide where you find the most satisfaction or results. Sometimes the right path actually becomes clearer through trial and error. I can tell you that I have done this, so many times until we got here. Finding what we love doing the most, something I know I will give my time, whether it is convenient for me or not. The number 3 thing that I would like you to do is to consider impact. Think about which talent is capable of having a great impact in your life and that of the world around you. Which one would you want to leave a legacy with? Which one would you want to be remembered for? So the number 4 thing is for you to combine talents. Yes, you can combine talents. Find ways to merge your talents. You may be able to blend multiple skills or talents into something very unique. Unique in such a way that it stands out in a manner that a single talent couldn't have. The 5th thing that you can do is to set long-term and short-term goals. Defining both your long-term goals and short-term priorities. may also help you decide on what exactly to do. So if one of your talents is more aligned with a long-term growth or opportunities, then that could be a good place to start. So the number 6 thing you can do is to follow the market or the needs of the people. So if one of your talents aligns with the market or the current needs of people at a particular or a given time, then it may be worth focusing on, especially if it offers opportunities for you to make a living out of it, or even contribute significantly to you making a living. Then I would say it is something worth focusing on. Now, the 7th thing for you to consider is balance and integration. It's possible for you to maintain a balance between your talents by dedicating different amounts of time depending on your current needs, your goal, or your energy. Generally, another thing that you can do when you feel stuck is by talking to people. You can talk to coaches, your mentors, your friends, your people who you feel might have the right answers for you. So this can also help. I actually studied banking and finance, and after school I started looking for a job. But the funny yet interesting thing about me is that even while studying banking and finance, I never had interest in banking jobs. How crazy can that be? I know, right? So eventually I explored quite a few jobs and also tried out my hands on quite a few business. There were times where I sold food and there were times where I did makeup, to earn a living.
But quite fortunately, here we are today on the business street, buying and selling clothes, recording our day-to-day activities, recording our improvement, our growth and our sales, and also filming YouTube videos amongst a lot of other things that we do. I mean, how interesting can this life be? Anyway guys, thank you for watching today's video. I will see you guys in my next one, but until then, bye. I love you.
Now you want body.
It's investing.
No, but that one are true. Say make clothes they cheaper.
It did cheaper. That's what, and again, the fact that